You're probably deep into self development work. You have read the books, you have taken many courses, you have seen so many videos on YouTube, but somehow you are still struggling to be positive, to think more positive, and to be in a higher vibration, to be that high vibe person. Don't worry, this video is literally gonna save you because I have a secret for you that no one is telling you. So the secret is they have only told you half of the story. There's nothing wrong with being positive and high vibe, but that's only half the equation. And you don't need to be positive and high vibe all the time. That is the secret. Your negative emotions are sacred as well, and they were put inside of you for a reason. I don't blame you if you have been, watching a lot of videos on self-development or reading a lot of books and you've started feeling like you need to be positive all the time. And that is how you're gonna manifest your dream reality. That's how the good is gonna happen in your life. If you think good, good will happen. Nothing wrong with all those things. Only that they are half the truth. What is the second half? The second half is don't push your negative emotions and your shadows away in order to force positivity. I'm going to repeat that. Don't push your negative emotions and your shadows away in order to be positive and high vibe all the time. No one ever taught you the sacredness of your negative emotions, and it's really not your fault. No one ever taught you this. But now in this video, I'm going to share with you why it is so important to actually even feel your negative emotions. And the reason is, mark my words, the universe does not respond to high vibe. The universe responds to authenticity. The universe responds to authenticity. You don't need to force your high vibes all the time. If something is showing up for you, if a negative emotion is showing up for you, you have to have the courage to be able to feel that and to create a safe environment for yourself to be able to feel that, whether that's taking someone else's support or doing it in your own personal space. But your negative emotions are literally the gateway to your highest transformation. And I know that kind of sucks because none of us are really fond of feeling the negative emotions, right? It's not that it's a lot of fun feeling the anger and the grief and the sorrow and the this and the that. No, nobody loves it. Even I don't love it. But I know now that they hold a sacred space and they were put inside of me for a reason. I am meant to feel those emotions as well. I cannot force my positivity by pushing down my negativity. Because the really funny thing that ends up happening is when you're not trying to push away the negative emotions and you're actually feeling them, the positivity follows. You don't really have to force the positivity anymore. It comes. Because previously you were doing this, like let's say you are feeling a negative emotion, but you refuse to feel it because you want to be positive and high vibe. And you're in this feeling. It's like your body is telling you something, but you are forcing yourself to do something else. So this is the vibration active in those times. When you allow yourself to feel your negative emotions, it's a sigh of relief. Your body, your emotional body, your mental body, whatever, all of your bodies, they're finally able to breathe. And then when your vessel has actually emptied out what it needed to empty out, when your vessel has felt what it needed to felt, there's a space that's created and the positivity follows. You don't really have to force it anymore. So yeah, the perfect secret for being high vibe all the time is to stop forcing high vibe. Oh, stop forcing high vibe. Now, what does it mean to sit with your emotions? Something shows up, you sit with that, you tell yourself that it's completely safe for me to feel this. You can keep your hand on your root chakra because that always helps in grounding. So keep your hand on your root chakra, say it's completely safe for me to feel what is showing up for me right now. Close your eyes, maybe locate it in your body, see where the sensations are rising up. If your body wants to cry, let it out, cry. If you want to yell into a pillow, do that, do it safely whenever you're releasing your anger, because that one can be a bit tricky. So allow your body to process what it wants to process so that later on that space can be created, where you want the positivity and the all those things to flow. Because I'm not saying those are bad things, of course they are good things, but the only problem is a lot of times we end up forcing them instead of actually allowing our body to alchemize what it needs to alchemize and then create the space for the positivity. So you can just track the sensations in your body, you can see where you're feeling them, and you can see what color is it, what shape is it, this feeling that you're feeling, where does it sit in your body. You can call upon your guides for help, that help me in releasing this XYZ emotion that I'm feeling right now. Your guides are always there for you, you just need to ask for help. Ask them for help to help me clear this emotion, help me feel this emotion, and alchemize it, transform it, etc., etc. Sit with those things. And after that, trust me, you're going to feel a sigh of relief after a point. You're going to feel a sigh of relief. And after that, if you try doing some positive affirmations or something like that, it's going to feel so much different. If you try to like visualize your future, the ideal future that you want, it's going to feel so much more better, because you're not really forcing it into yourself right now, but you're actually allowing your body to feel what it feels, to alchemize what it needs to alchemize, to release what it needs to release. And then you are holding space for yourself. So try this. Now, in this process, there is one trap that I don't want you to fall into. And that trap is the difference between feeling your negative emotions versus dwelling in your negative thoughts. These are two very different things, and they can really be tricky sometimes, because you might be feeling that I'm just feeling my emotion right now that's coming up, but actually when you look into it, you are dwelling into the thoughts that are racing in your head. Because the feeling of emotion, that happens on a body level, you're feeling that in your body, okay? But when you are dwelling, there are non-stop thoughts going on and on and on and on and on. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, because literally every human being experiences this. So dwelling is not the same as feeling your emotions. When does dwelling happen? When, if you see one after the other negative thought coming into your mind, and your mind feels heavy, that's dwelling. That's dwelling in your mind. That's not feeling. So when you see that happening, you have to break that loop. That dwelling that keeps happening, that circle going on and on, that has to be broken. How can you do that? You can just stand up from whatever you were doing, stop doing that thing, maybe clap your hands or something like that, or shake your body, but you have to break that loop. And becoming aware that the loop is going on, that's going to help you a lot in breaking the loop in itself. And then change whatever position you're in. If you're sitting, stand up, shake it out, or clap your hands, like break that cycle in some way. If you're standing up, maybe start moving around, close your laptop, close whatever you were doing, and break that loop. And then when you have broken that loop, then ask yourself, what am I feeling? Because that's the thing that you need to feel. You don't need to dwell, you need to feel what you're feeling in your body. So break that loop and feel what needs to be felt, instead of the dwelling round that goes on in our minds. These are really two very different things, and it can be really tricky. So be patient with yourself. It does take practice. Be patient with yourself, and don't get frustrated on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself if you find yourself dwelling a lot of times. We're all humans, we all do it. Calm down, it's all normal. You're doing your best, and it's enough. Now, all that being said, does positive thinking hold some significance in our life? Yes, 100% it does. The only purpose of this video was that don't force your positivity by removing the negative emotions and your shadows and rejecting them. That's not going to work. But once you know how to accept your shadows, how to sit with your shadows, and how to feel the negative emotions that are showing up, positive thinking is obviously very nice. Don't we all love positive thinking? Don't we all know people in our lives? I don't know, you tell me, do you know a person like this who's always so positive about everything? Their outlook on life is so nice, and when you just talk to them, you just feel so uplifted because they're so positive. So yeah, of course it's good. Nobody is saying that is bad. Just don't push that away. Now, I'm going to give you one advice. If you feel like you're currently the kind of person who has a bit more tendency towards pessimism, like you really look at the negative side of things and you really struggle to be positive, don't worry. First of all, that's something a lot of people go through, me included. Personally, this has been a big work for me to, shift into a positive mindset, and how to actually do that. Because first, obviously, I went into the loop of shutting down my negative emotions in order to be positive, but that didn't work. But now I'm telling you, once you have done that and you know how to do that, one advice that I can really give you, if you consider yourself currently as a pessimist, start looking at things for what they are. Okay, maybe if you have a tendency to think very negatively right now, suddenly going into very positive, it doesn't feel aligned. Like, it just, like, maybe even you will say the sentence, but you'll feel just like this inside, and it will do nothing to your system, to your body, to improve your life or anything. First step would be start looking at things for what they are. Nothing is over positive, nothing is over negative. Start looking at things for what they are. For example, you went through some situation, let's say this was a phase of your life in which there were some challenges. And whenever you think about that phase of your life, the first thing that actually comes in your mind is the challenges, because that's what's active for you. I'm going to challenge you to take out a piece of paper and actually write about that phase of your life for what it was. Meaning, not just the challenges, but also look at what was good in that phase of life. See it for what it is. It was not only challenges, it was not only bliss and positivity, it was both. Start acknowledging things and start seeing things for what they are. Start seeing situations for what they are. Start seeing people for what they truly are. There's no need to uh, make something over positive or something like that. Start looking at things for what they truly are, because sometimes we can really dwell into the negativity of something, and we can even neglect that there was something positive or something nice from it. So yeah, that is my challenge for you. And now the another tip I have for you for positive thinking is to reframe your mind by looking at things as a blessing as much as you can. Please don't force it. It will not work. If you're not able to see something which maybe happened in the past or is currently happening in your life, which is affecting you negatively, and you're not able to see the gift in it, you're not able to see how that can be something that's happening for your good, this, it's okay, don't force it. As I said, first start looking at things for what they are. But maybe now, second step is start looking at maybe something happened in the past that you're not so much affected by anymore, and start looking at what gifts did it bring in your life. What How did that transform you for the positive? That yes, there were challenges, we completely acknowledge that, but what role did it play in your evolution, in you being here today as the person you are, and left a positive impact in your life? That narrative change of, even when things are falling apart, no, everything is always working out for me. I know that even if this thing that I want doesn't happen, something even better is on the way. That will start getting internalized in your body, like slowly and slowly. There's no need to force it. You can start practicing it little by little. Okay, so those are my two exercises for you. No, three. First was the feeling of negative emotions, and then we come to the positivity and how you can actually start practicing that in a practical way without being, that, oh, I have to be positive all the time and I need to be a positivity machine and a high vibe machine. No, no, no. We're here for authenticity. So, in conclusion, the secret to being high vibe is to stop faking high vibe and being real instead. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe below. I keep making videos like this for you all the time. Let me know in the comments below what in this video resonated with you. What are you taking away from this? And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.